Welcome everyone, and thank you for being here today. I'm excited to introduce our presentation on a very intriguing topic. We'll be exploring a key principle from Robert Greene's famous book, The 48 Laws of Power. This first slide highlights Law 11, learn to keep people dependent on you. Throughout this session, we'll uncover the strategies behind maintaining influence and power in various situations. So, let's dive in and discover how understanding this law can enhance your approach to leadership and relationships. So, the key idea here from Robert Greene is that to truly maintain your independence, you need to make yourself indispensable. When others rely on you heavily, you gain a certain level of freedom because they depend on your presence and your skills. It's about creating a situation where your value is clear. They need you for their happiness and prosperity. When that dependence is established, you don't have to fear losing control or influence. This concept ties into the overall theme of understanding power dynamics. By becoming essential, you essentially secure your position and maintain your independence. It's a strategic approach to ensuring you're always in a strong, autonomous position. Let's dive into some crucial insights from Robert Greene. First, the idea of secret knowledge. It's about never revealing too much to your subordinates. You want to give them enough to do their jobs, but never so much that they can operate independently without you. Keep that secret sauce to yourself. It's what makes you indispensable. Next, we have the concept of being the provider. If you control a vital resource or skill that no one else can easily replace, you become essential. That means, in practical terms, you can't be easily fired because your value is irreplaceable. Finally, let's talk about the nature of power. Power isn't about total independence or standing alone. Instead, it's about relationships, how others depend on you for their success or survival. When you understand this, you realize that power is truly about influence and reliance, not isolation. All these points tie back to the overall theme of strategic positioning, knowing how to maintain your power and influence by controlling knowledge, resources, and relationships. So why does this happen? Well, it's because once their purpose is fulfilled, these tools or assets are no longer needed. Think about it. When the war is over, the dependency on these mercenaries or resources simply ends. They've done their job, and now, keeping them around can actually be more of a liability than an asset. They become a dangerous expense, something that could potentially turn against you or cause problems if left unchecked. Historically, we've seen this pattern play out with elite mercenaries. After they helped secure victory for their employers, they were often executed or banished immediately. It was a way to prevent any future threat or loyalty issues, because once the battle is won, these powerful players can become a threat rather than an asset. This ties into the overall theme of strategic power, knowing when to use resources, and just as importantly, when to remove them. It's about understanding transgression and the importance of managing what might otherwise become a dangerous or uncontrollable force once their purpose is fulfilled. So, here we see an example from Robert Greene's work, highlighting how Bismarck built a political structure so intricate that only he could truly navigate it. This level of complexity served a strategic purpose, making him indispensable. Even when the king disliked him, he couldn't simply dismiss Bismarck, because the entire empire depended on his skills and control. Bismarck's approach was not about blindly agreeing with the king. Instead, he became the only person capable of managing the king's enemies. This underscores a key concept. Power often lies in being the essential person, someone others cannot do without. By positioning himself as the vital link, Bismarck maintained his influence and authority. This aligns with our overall theme, understanding how strategic positioning and control can secure power, even in the most challenging circumstances. When it comes to establishing true power, one of the most effective strategies is to be the only source of water in a desert. Basically, you want to be the go-to person or resource that others rely on. People might not always love you, but they have no choice but to come to you because you hold something essential they need. Next, cultivating a unique talent is crucial. Think of it as developing a skill that's rare and valuable, something that can't easily be replaced. If your skill set is common, then your power isn't secure because someone else can step in. But if you master something distinctive, you become irreplaceable. And then there's the idea of entwining yourself into the fabric of the organization or structure. This means integrating so deeply that your absence would cause disruption or chaos. It's about becoming an indispensable part of the system, so removing you isn't just a minor inconvenience, it's a major problem. All of these ideas tie back to the overall theme of power, creating dependence, uniqueness, and integration. By doing so, you establish a position where others need you, and that's where true influence begins. So, here's a key idea from Robert Greene. When we create complex webs of connections or dependencies, we often end up losing our own freedom. It's like being caught in a trap of our own making, constantly having to maintain and manage those relationships. And honestly, that can be exhausting and limiting. Sometimes, it's actually better to be self-sufficient and independent rather than becoming the indispensable person who's relied on for everything. Now, here's an important point. Dependency isn't a one-way street. If you make others overly dependent on you, you might end up becoming a slave to their needs. That means your freedom can be compromised just as much as theirs. And this brings us to the reversal. Sometimes, what seems like a strategic advantage can turn into a trap. So, be mindful about how much you build dependence on others or on them relying on you, because it can ultimately restrict your own autonomy. It's a balancing act, and understanding this helps us make smarter choices in our relationships and strategies. Now, let's take a look at some of the sources that have inspired this presentation. First, we have this striking image of a golden puzzle piece from Stockcake.com, which symbolizes how each element fits together to create a bigger picture. Next, we see a classic portrait of Chancellor Otto von Bismarck by Franz Seraph von Lenbach from Meisterdruck, UK, reminding us of the importance of leadership and strategic thinking in shaping history. Moving on, there's a powerful image of futuristic soldiers traversing rocky terrain from iStockphoto, representing innovation and resilience in challenging environments. We also have a photograph from GCadvocate.com that highlights the significance of community and advocacy efforts in societal progress. Then, an inspiring shot of a historic cathedral from English Cathedrals.co. UK emphasizes the role of culture and spirituality in our lives. Finally, an ethereal artwork from Unfocused.com captures the harmony of water and light, symbolizing the beauty and fluidity of change. These images collectively reinforce the theme of interconnectedness, resilience, and the continual pursuit of knowledge and growth throughout history. Let's take a moment to look at the image sourced from mymythos.org. This striking visual represents the Garuda archetype, a powerful symbol found in many mythologies. As you can see, the Garuda is often depicted as a majestic bird or a winged creature, embodying qualities like strength, freedom, and spiritual elevation. Throughout our presentation, we've explored how archetypes serve as universal symbols that shape our understanding of ourselves and the world. The Garuda, in particular, exemplifies the pursuit of higher knowledge and transcendence. It reminds us that growth often involves rising above challenges and embracing our inner power. By connecting this image to the overall theme, we see how archetypes like the Garuda inspire us to strive for personal transformation and enlightenment. They serve as guides, helping us navigate our inner journeys with courage and clarity. So, as we wrap up, I encourage you to reflect on which archetypes resonate most with you and how they might influence your path forward. Thank you.